to everyone for what? Welcome to everyone. This is a new season of Queerantine Kitchen. As you can see, we're in a different kitchen space yet again. We are coming at you on Instagram here, as well as over on Twitch if you're part of the Transverse. And you can watch that, and you can check it out there, and feel free to leave comments there. We've got Amy who's watching the comments and making sure to write them over to me so that I can answer them. And if this is your first time, you're like, what is this show? Basically, I just cook things and I have a guest on, and it's a lot of fun. If you hear beeping in the background, it's because Kelly is running about taking pictures. Some behind the scenes stuff. Look, this is the big times. Anyway, so you could do both. You could also watch it on Instagram and Twitch at the same time. But yes, I'm so excited to be back. I took a couple months off for the summer to move and start school, which I actually start tomorrow. Very exciting. Anyway, rules. Here's the thing. You can watch, you can comment, you can ask questions. We ask that if you are being rude? Well, don't be rude. Don't be rude. Kick you out if you're rude. That's it. There's no asking. So just be respectful. Don't be a gross chaser. And you can stay and watch and chat and have a lot of fun. And I've got a wonderful guest on tonight. Her name is Jess. You probably know her. JustJess42 is going to be joining me. And you can send that request anytime you want now, Jess. And we will get cooking. I've got a lot already on the go because I bit off more than I could chew with this recipe. So let's get cooking, shall we? Where are you, Jess? Oh yeah, view request. Jess is also a host of a show on the Transverse. Hey Jess, hello, how are you?
Hi there, I'm doing well. Hopefully you can see me and hear me and all that good stuff.
Oh yes, I can see you for sure.
Excellent,
I'm just going to move
my
camera.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same too. So
you can see the top of my head. So, there it is.
Right. Ditto. All right. In frame.
We got it. Cool. Well, how the heck are you? What's new?
I am doing well. I'm impressed with myself, frankly, because today was a beach day. Yes. And so I was at the beach. It was a lot of fun. We got back slightly later than I planned, and so it was a slightly hurried affair to change and scrub off salt and retouch and all that good stuff. So I was going to do contacts, but my eyes are tired. So you get, I'm not sure fancy with the glasses. I normally would not try to compete with your glasses, but I'm going for it this time.
Oh, well, you know what? I used to do contacts. I did contacts years ago. They hurt me. They hurt my eyes too much. So I just started getting fun glasses. And yeah, there's a lot of different choices.
Awesome. Totally.
But yes, hello. Can you introduce yourself and say hello to the wonderful people watching?
I am very happy to do it. So hi, everyone watching across multiple platforms. This is me, Jess. I am, as Billy already said, JustJess42. I've been on Instagram for a few years, and then also now on the Transverse Network, where this is streaming on Twitch. So a contributor there as well. And yeah, I guess I don't actually know what details to say. That's
well, I mean. So I'm always on the lookout for new guests, and coming back, I wanted to sort of tie it in with the network that I've been added to with the Transverse, and you run a show on that network as well. It's twice a month or once a month?
It's about once a month. So I get to, I contribute. There's three of us, though we have a new person, I think, appearing this week, Jen, who's going to contribute. But yeah, it's called Builder's Block, and they're each one of us is a builder of a different kind of thing. And so we would take turns each week building our things. I do Lego stuff, custom Lego creations. We have Emily, who does custom Star Wars droids, and Rosa, who does little mecha kits. They're very cool and intricate. So yeah, awesome. That's a show. I guess I should probably get started too then, huh? Because I see you're busily, yeah. All right.
I'm cooking away. I'm making a salad dressing right now because it's like the last day before I got to go back to school.
Right.
And the first episode of Queerantine Kitchen back. So I'm doing like an entire roast dinner.
Good Lord.
Yeah. I've got a chicken already in the oven, already prepped. It's ready to go. I've got potatoes that are going to be boiling soon. Make mashed potatoes and gravy. We've got some veggies that are going to steam. I've got
Nice.
a pot of water that's going to boil for some corn, corn on the cob, and a green salad to top it off with. So it's like your good old Sunday roast dinner, and it's late though, so it's 8 p.m. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so yeah, that's darn impressive. I am at the extreme other end of food preparation, scope and ability. As anyone can tell, there's a couple people who, when they saw that I was going to be doing this, so like the only thing Jess can do is make a reservation. And even that's not true. That's actually my friends Jessica and Ashley who do all of that. I actually just attend, so I don't even do that much. So this is this is what I wanted to do, but it was also kind of a challenge of what could I actually do. So I do have a brownie recipe that I know how to do from scratch. So that's what I'm going to be doing here.
Ooh, so
making some brownies. So dessert for your
I got dinner. You got dessert. Meal. There we go.
That's right.
See, right. I love cooking. I can't get enough of it. It's always been such a big passion of mine. But it's interesting to cook with people who are like, I don't like cooking, and you just like you never grew up in or how come you haven't cooked? I mean, I don't want that to come across all shamey. I'm like, you know.
I mean, honestly, you probably could. I would not object to me being shamed for probably a variety of things, really. But no, I'm sorry. I actually like cooking. I do find it enjoyable. The problem is because it's just me. So like every time I try to cook, like things don't go well. All the ingredients go bad before I get them. I cook way too much, and I don't want to eat that same thing for like 9 meals in a row. So that's a big part of it. The other challenge is I don't plan ahead super well. I'm so absorbed with work stuff that by the time it's time to eat, like I have done no preparation and I'm too hungry. And since I live in New York City, I can just go online and tap a couple buttons and food shows up at my door in 15 minutes. So it's a nice
it's a nice way to do it.
Yeah, and I'm facing away here. Hopefully you can still see me here. I'm trying
that's totally
yeah. Most of the stuff will be over here, but I have to melt the butter and the chocolate on the stove here. So
I mean, I totally understand the idea of like cooking for yourself. Like part of the reason why I have been like eating so well in the last like year and since quarantine happened is because I started this show, and
that's great.
Like because it gives me like a reason to cook and feel like I'm cooking with people and cooking not necessarily for people, but at least the communal part of it. Because you're right, when you're cooking by yourself, if you're tired, it's like, well, I don't know, a sleeve of crackers can be a dinner, right? And just go from there.
The number of meals I have, they're like hot dogs or sausages or peanut butter and jelly or like,
right.
I get rightly made fun of it a lot for my culinary abilities.
I do see on your Instagram you have a lot of good food adventures, it seems like, and you mentioned like you live in New York City, so there's a couple restaurants there. Hey, just one
a few
or two.
here and there. Yeah. No, it's a blessing to be sure, and even just to be at this point in life, to be privileged enough to do a lot of those things. That we've been going nuts. Even during quarantines, there's sort of it was a close group of friends. There's a definitely a big circle, but there's the core that was kind of the pod during the quarantine.
Quarantine bubble.
Yeah, we were very, very careful. Like I didn't leave my apartment for the first 3 months, so we felt relatively safe around each other to only be with each other. But we still would like even then order in, an omakase from some really fancy sushi place and get do their things together, or some super deluxe duck meal that was like 7 courses for New Year's, like all these crazy things. Wow. Yeah. So they are. It's all because of them. They know all the places. They know all of the things, and so again, I get to attend. Even beyond that, we started to do dinners at each other's places to shake things up a little bit when things felt a little bit safer. And still, they're sous vide, like Denver steak, and making all these other crazy things. And and then people come to my place. I'm like, here's a bag of Doritos, and like it's tough to live up to the bar that they set when they do all that. I see you looking down. I've been forgetting to look at chat too. I opened 2 iPads to look at both chats, and I'm still not looking at it.
Oh, we got Queerantine Kitchen saying, sorry for the camera clicks. You can't hear them. The action's going.
Am I making noise?
You're fine. You are brilliant. You are brilliant.
You meant like the picture taking before. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the picture.
I don't hear it taking. So, yeah.
I can hear it, but that's because I'm
alive in this situation. So yeah, how did you? Sorry. So you are not a chef, sure, but you have a cool hobby of building custom Lego things.
Yes.
I just want to know, like, how did you get started on that hobby?
Right. Well, it's
that's
always
pretty cool. Ooh,
yeah.
Water's boiling.
Yeah, no, I'm doing the same thing. Like this chocolate, I don't want it to burn here, so I'm stirring like crazy. I hope you don't hear that sound through my.
Oh, I can hear it, but that's okay.
Sorry, do you hear the AC?
I do not hear the AC.
Okay, good.
I hear the water.
The stirring.
The stirring. That's good.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
We'll be done in a second here. Just want to not let this burn. All right. Yeah, no, the building. I mean, I always have loved building and creating. Not to get too maudlin or fancy about it, but I early on, like I was building from as far back as I can remember. I cannot remember a time in my life where I was not building with Legos. So it's one of the oldest memories I have is constantly building and constructing. And many people will talk about when you're an adult Lego builder that you have your dark ages where you stop building for a while before you finally realize that you're allowed to, or that you can at least get away with it in secret if no one knows. The shameful return to the toy blade. But I never really stopped. I've always enjoyed it. And I probably would have been an architect. I went to a career fair, which had a really boring architect from a Carnegie Mellon attending it in high school. I remember meeting him and being like, he is so boring, I'm going into business. And so I wonder what it would have been like if I met someone else. So now
if only Frank Gehry came to my high school.
Right? Yeah.
Is that an architect? Did I get that right? I think I got it.
Yeah, absolutely. The St. Louis Arch. Yeah.
Oh.
Boom.
I didn't know that.
Sugar. That's next. All right. Even though this is my recipe from scratch, I still forget it. I have to look it up here. All right. But yeah, so I think I sometimes now build to sublimate and avoid a midlife crisis. So I build with Lego to help like avoid a giant career left turn.
Well, that's millennials for you, right? We're clinging on to the things that make us happy.
That's right. That's right.
That's why I still love Star Wars so much. But who is asking a question? We got a question?
Oh yeah, sorry. I said I was looking to look at chat and I forgot to look at chat.
What are we cooking tonight? Oh, good question. So just to recap for people who've joined in, we've got some new people. Hello to everybody. I am cooking a Sunday, it's on a Monday, a Sunday roast dinner with a roast chicken that's in the oven. I've got potatoes that are boiling, getting ready to do mashed potatoes. I can speak. I'm doing a green salad and some steamed carrots and green beans. And so we're going to have a good old roast chicken dinner. Oh, and corn on the cob because it's fall. It's early fall, so it's corn season. So corn on the cob. And you are making, for the new people
dessert.
Just joining.
I am making the dessert. It's going to be shipped via air. It'll be very fast, but hopefully they're in time for that course. But I'm making brownies, a scratch recipe that I've been making since middle school. And everyone's been too polite to tell me it's bad, so I'm still assuming that it's good.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So I have a little. This is my salad dressing plus like a little mirepoix. So it's just got a little oil and vinegar with some soy sauce for that umami, and then some salt and pepper and a little bit of sugar. And then I've got cucumbers, onions, and red peppers in there. And then I just throw lettuce on top of that. And my cat is scratching the couch. Stop it, Cat Jon Snow. I put those, that goes in the fridge with the lettuce. And at the end, we'll just toss it all together and it'll be good. Ooh, people using the question button in here.
Really? Wow.
Can't comment in chat since comments are off. Oh, that's weird.
Oh.
I thought I had comments turned on, but it looked, oh well, thank you for sending in your comments through the question or the question button or the comment page if you can use it. I think it works for some people. I don't know. But thank you for interacting. You're valued. So do you have anything that goes on top of the brownies, or is it just like...
No, I mean, you can do it with nuts or walnuts or something, but I just go straight chocolate. Yeah.
Just go plain.
Why go crazy? I say, I don't know how appealing this is or how visible it is, but there's
Oh yeah,
around.
okay.
Yeah, there's
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the 2 squares of chocolate, stick of butter, and a cup of sugar. And now we will add in, I think, the eggs and then the vanilla. Yes.
Is there any flour in that, or is it just?
There will be. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Will be.
Sweet.
Just getting the eggs out of the fridge. I moved to a new apartment during quarantine.
Okay.
I moved from unit 10B to 10A. It was a very easy move.
Just across the hall.
Yeah, equally equivalent to your move, I'm sure. That was, not even across the hall, like immediately next door. I just walked around the corner from one door to the next. There's like 6 inches between the doors, wherever the width of the wall is. It's slightly bigger, which is nice. I have like an office / Lego room. But the kitchen is actually smaller than the kitchen in the other one. So that's the slightly awkwardly located fridge and stuff.
I think I have your move beat by a couple kilometers.
Yeah.
The trip that we took in the start of August from Alberta to Quebec was 4,300 kilometers.
Holy cow.
Which was intense. So that's 2,000 something miles. I don't know. I can't remember for sure. Amy will be able to tell us.
Right.
But it was basically 1/10 of the way around the world. The circumference of the Earth, I think, is what the math works out. So
it's
pretty
slightly marginally longer than
0.1. Sorry, yes, 4,300.1 kilometers.
0.1. That's good. That's important to know. You can't leave out
extra 100 meters.
Yes.
So 2,671 miles was the drive between provinces.
The drive. Wow. I mean, it makes sense, but still, wow. That is intense. That is intense.
My movers. Intense. It was good.
I mean, did you have movers, or was it?
No.
Goodness
So
gracious.
I when I moved, I kind of had been in my place in Calgary for a long time, and most of my furniture was like hand-me-downs from my parents or like second-hand-ish stuff. And so when I moved, I had gotten rid of my bed. I donated, recycled much of the stuff. So it was basically what I could fit in my car, plus 2 suitcases that were mailed across, and one still hasn't got here yet.
Oh, jeez.
But that's okay. It's just got like winter clothes in it. And I'm still a few weeks away from needing winter clothes. Excuse me.
Well, good to hear.
So I drove, and actually I drove to live with my partner Kelly, and she's the one taking pictures. And my other girlfriend, Amy, who you know from the Discord channel, drove with me, and it was a really fun drive. I
didn't realize you drove together. I knew you had seen her. I didn't. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's cool.
She came down to Calgary the very day they eased the restrictions for air travel. Was actually when her flight got in, and then we drove across. So it's been wild.
Well, now, so you had to resettle into a whole new kitchen, a whole new space after you had your whole deal and I'm sure well set up process for the show before. Did you change anything dramatically when you had the new space? Have you, from the get-go?
Yeah.
We'll start with the fresh kitchen. Did you get to decide a new layout?
Yeah. Well, we've got like a cool new layout. We've got some stuff, some ideas. I've actually sat down with Emily to talk about what the show is going to look like.
All right. That's serious. All right.
And so obviously the kitchen is a little bit bigger. We've got a little bit more room to play with. It's not quite as cramped as the one I lived in Calgary, or I mean the one I was doing the show in at my parents' house was like a giant house-sized kitchen. So
sure.
That was pretty sweet. It's smaller than that, but there's lots of counter space.
That's hard to,
We've got some plans for the Twitch audience, so this is maybe a sneak preview and an incentive for me to get going. But we're going to try to get a camera going up around this situation to look down and actually see the cutting board. And have here's what I'm actually working on.
Awesome.
But the Twitch stuff is confusing. I have tried to use the OBS setup, and it is It's quite unintuitive, I find, and so.
Well, there's so much there. It's not
so much there. Yeah.
It's like you really do have to focus in on just a few. At least that's been my experience. Yeah, it definitely can be overwhelming.
It doesn't like.
Now the flour.
It doesn't like hold your hand through it. It's just like, no. Here it is. Figure it out. I'm gonna go take a drink and have a smoke, and you're like, oh, great. Thanks.
Yeah, it was entirely other people's YouTube videos that got me set up. I got nothing from. I mean, they had some tutorials, but I didn't find them that useful.
But we're gonna work on it. We've got big plans for QK, and actually, this is a good time, a good segue to let other people know that going forward, I'm going to be hosting QK from the Queerantine Kitchen Instagram account. So make sure you're following Queerantine Kitchen, and we're going to figure out how to get the videos up regardless if you can't watch live. But starting from next week, go to the Queerantine Kitchen account, follow that one, subscribe, make sure you're on tap, because that's where the account will be. It'll be the exact same setup. It'll be Instagram Live on the top and bottom. It'll just say Queerantine Kitchen instead of Billy by Design.
Side note, I did a batch of these the other day. I'm sorry. I don't mean to distract from that great news. I got myself caught up in my own head. That was
no.
Right.
Please. Tangents are wonderful. We love them.
Yeah. Well, I just realized as we're doing this that I had practiced. I did to make sure I had the ingredients, that they were good, and also so since there's bacon involved, I wanted to have a final product. So I made half of the batch yesterday, or 2 days ago, whatever day it was. I don't remember. Take it. And it, like, I am almost done. Like, I did this. I thought me talking to someone else, it would take longer to do, and somehow it's going much faster. So I'm like stirring slowly now to like.
Oh, now you've got
the flour.
One, you've done it once. Your muscles sort of know what's going to happen.
I guess that's it. Yeah.
You're just like, you're faster, kicking butt.
Yeah, I didn't have to be as nice with the stuff. I'm just like throwing things in the sink when I'm done with them, versus like yesterday I had to like re-clean them and prep them. So yeah. Sorry, you're also.
No, I'm also at the stage where like one thing I learned from cooking is like a lot of it is just waiting for stuff to be done. Once you like set things in motion, there's a lot of just like, okay, well, I guess I'll
just
hang out. So, like my chicken is in the oven. It's 12 minutes away from being finished, and then I'm going to rest it. Hopefully it's done internally.
Nice.
We'll see. My veggies are getting ready to be steamed. My potatoes are getting softer. I'm still waiting for water to boil for the pot for the corn, because it's a stock pot, and it takes a long time to boil, although significantly less time to boil at sea level. That was a surprise coming here, where I'm like,
that makes sense.
Great. I'll like, because Calgary is very high elevation. I'll put the water on, and it'll take like a long time to boil. And here it's just like, I think I have a certain amount of time, but nope, it's boiling away. We got a question.
It looks like also welcome to the chat. Some people who are not able to be in the chat. Hi, Alyssa.
Yes,
glad you're able to. Yeah,
Alyssa. Hello. So what is so when you build Lego? I'm coming back to Lego because you're my guest and I want to know about it. Do you build sets with instructions, or do you like totally go off freestyle?
Right. Like I will occasionally build sets with instructions, but it's very rare. Usually that's like some giant, huge, amazing set, like the grand piano, or I have a Superstar Destroyer up above me in the kitchen here. Like that kind of thing. Like I'm like, all right, that's awesome. I'll build that official set. But generally speaking, I only do custom stuff. So I have about 30 custom buildings, 70 some vehicles, and then a few, like they're all like in the town world, and then I have like a couple other random things like a pirate ship, or I have Marine One up above me that I would get it, but it's super high. I need a chair.
Yeah.
Me in the kitchen. Yeah.
Marine One is
all
the
purely custom.
helicopter?
It's the president's helicopter. Like Air Force One is the plane, Marine One is the helicopter. And I have Lego Obama inside it, because that's when I made it.
Lego Obama.
And Secret Service and generals and admirals and all kinds of stuff. It was a packed flight. Yeah.
It's a packed flight. Oh, that's
Marine Guard, Honor Guard. Yeah. I do lots of super intricate things, and then I'm in a group where we do shows sometimes, which is really fun. So we'll go to a library
Ooh,
or a museum, and we'll do a big display, and people bring their kids through and get to see them and all that kind of fun stuff.
Oh, cool. What's the biggest thing you've worked on?
There's probably two parts of that. The biggest show we've ever done is at Stanford Museum and Nature Center in Connecticut. And it was live for 3 months at a time back in the before times. And we get about 15,000 people who would come through over those 3 months. And they'd see our show, and it would be a couple rooms worth. There'd be one enormous display that had like our main setup with like multiple trains, and there's like city and space and Old West and all kinds of different themes throughout it, all contiguous. And then another room with different like individual models. The biggest single model we ever worked on, which I didn't get to contribute directly to, but there is a Lego official set of like the New York City skyline.
Oh yeah,
right, it has like and that little set. Lego asked us to make one for the grand opening of their Flatiron store, to make one, but make it with the tallest building being 7 feet tall instead of that little one. So we had to upscale it. And we and I say we, like there's other members of the group, again, Sally, not me, but they just made up a plan. They figured out what pieces they would need. They requested those from Lego. Lego sent them the pieces, and they just built it, and it was on display at the opening of the store. So it was, it was super cool.
So the tallest building, that's the One World Trade Center? Was that the tallest one?
I think that's the tallest one. Yeah, it is. It is. The coolest one I thought was the Empire State Building. That one came out super awesome. I wanted to buy it like from the group, like we all were gonna like get portions of it, all the people who contributed. So I wanted to like buy someone out, but it was not something I could just offhand. It was shockingly expensive. Several $100. Yeah.
Lego is always so shockingly expensive. Like on its own, you're like, oh, this little like Star Wars vehicle set, I maybe want to buy that, and they're like $170, please, and you're like, never mind.
Let me say though, if you get to the place where you can do it, they appreciate like crazy. And that might end. I don't know if it's forever, but I've been buying extra copies of box sets, like of big sets, and keeping them in my parents' basement now in a storage unit in Pennsylvania, because they are shooting up. I bought sets for $100. They are now selling for $1,700 if you still have them sealed in the box. So I'm like, great, like future down payment for a house, or if the market collapses, more Lego. It's a win-win either way. So I'm gonna just keep on buying them up.
Either I'll get a house, or I'll be able to use this to barter stuff in the post-apocalyptic.
Exactly, or even build
apocalyptic landscape.
Ooh, I kind of like apocalyptic though.
Apocalyptic sounds like a girl band that I would be very interested in listening to.
Yes.
Ooh, what's my favorite dish that I prepared? That was a great question. I have a terrible answer for it because I don't really have an answer for it. Unfortunately, it is the thing I love about cooking is not necessarily cooking any one dish or one meal. It's the experience of cooking food for people, and cooking with people, and like the community around, hot. The community that develops around cooking, because it is such a like, I don't know, primal is like a lame way to describe it, but it is such a primal thing, and everyone's had to do it forever. And there's just something very special about having like a bunch of food with a bunch of people around and just sharing that. That's so wonderful. And I guess I'm getting yelled at to just pick a favorite. So I will say that the favorite mealtime I had was, my old job in the before times, just like literally the Wednesday before the quarantine started. I worked in an after-school program that did cooking programs with kids, and we did a dinner for the families, and they made like spaghetti and meatballs with like meat sauce, and they made salad and an apple crisp for dessert, and it was all prepared throughout the week leading up to it with like freezing stuff and then reheating it. But on the night we had about 100+ people that came in. We all got together, sat around tables, and shared this meal together. And it was so wonderful. It was like so soul-filling, and like weirdly like ominous that it was the last time we all gathered around in such a big group.
Right.
You know, because the idea of just being like, yeah, we had 100 people come into a gym and sit at tables with strangers sounds like you would.
Right? It's insanity. Yeah.
It sounds like, yeah, you would not do that in the now time. So, like, getting to do that and getting to, like, sort of have that be my unexpected swan song was...
That's cool.
Was really, really awesome. So, I guess spaghetti dinner. A few years earlier, I did a full pig roast with some friends in the summertime, and that was really wonderful. Yeah, like open coals, sort of slow barbecue, entire pig.
Last time I went to a pig roast, I did my first ever kickstand. I think my last ever kickstand. Come to think of it.
I have never done a kickstand.
It was back in college. Yep. Though oddly enough, it wasn't at Penn State, which is where I went and where you would expect to have that kind of activity happen. I was visiting a friend at another college, and that's where I did the kickstand.
What did you go to college for? Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's all good. I cut myself off. I was sipping some wine. Yeah, it was at. I'm sorry. I got a degree in economics and international business, and almost with a concentration in political science. But I worked on my honors thesis for a year and a half, and I was already working full time. I just like, and let that one drop. Like, life regret, I'm going to move on. So I just had the econ international business, which has nothing at all to do with my job, not even a little bit. And I kind of prefer that.
What is your, can you say what your job is now?
I can't say what the job is. But,
I know what it is.
Related to it. Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's something that I'm increasingly open to every now. Now I'm back to my parents. Like I finally finished coming out to my parents. So now I'm less concerned.
Wow,
I'm not like
that's huge.
I haven't broadcasted to the world yet, but I'm less concerned about it like leaking out there. So I work at Pfizer. I'm the director of channel management. So I'm in charge of the look, feel, and operation of our U.S. Web and social channels. And primarily that means Pfizer.com, keeping Pfizer.com going. So my job is like web design creative. You're welcome, even though I had nothing to do with it. I posted.
That's okay. You know what? That's okay.
Yeah,
I got Moderna, so never mind.
All right, we're done. Bye.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Well, I haven't told people like I got Pfizer. Thank you. I'm like, you know, you had no choice, but thank you for choosing Pfizer.
Yeah. Okay. So you work for Pfizer and like the web, making sure the website keeps going?
Corporate affairs is the department. Yeah, communications. So I'm a spin, but yeah, I've been a developer. I've done UX, I've done design and brand, and now I kind of try to pull it all together.
Cool. That sounds like a fun job. I mean, it sounds like there's probably like bureaucracy and red tape and boring stuff.
Always, everywhere.
I'm getting my moment. I'm getting photographed. I keep looking as soon as she turns the light on.
Yeah, gotcha.
She wants.
I just thought you were giving me a great,
be natural, but I'm like, camera, what? Big light.
Well, while you do it, I'm gonna show this to go in the oven while she poses.
Oh, here we go.
And see, here's the batter dropped into it. So that's the before, and then I do have an after. I don't know if we're at the after point yet, but I do have an after.
How long? Because brownies take like way longer than I think to cook in the oven all the time. It's always like, oh, I'm ready for brownies, and they're like, surprise, it's 45 minutes.
Right. Like, I think this one's a little faster, though I could probably go a little bit longer. It depends on whether or not you use a metal pan or a glass one. I usually use glass, but this is metal. So it's 350 degrees for 30 minutes. So
350 degrees for 30 minutes.
5 minutes after the show, and I'll.
5 minutes after the show.
Good thing I have the special. I have the extra, already plated. All the little other brownies from the other batch, though not as many as there should be because I ate several over the past couple of days.
Hey, that's okay. I'm just trying to find a meat thermometer. Oh, I think I found it. Oh, I did find it. I found it. Very important. No salmonella here.
Cool. Oh, and thank you. I saw thank you in the chat. Appreciate that, Shannon. No, not necessary, but appreciate it. Cool.
Okay, so that's that. That's that. The corn is almost done.
Wow,
this is coming along, friends.
All right.
Another comment here.
Cool. All right. Well, someone said they liked your necklace. I can't quite see it. Is that?
My necklaces. These are. This one is the estrogen molecule because. Thanks, estrogen. And then this one's a little bee, and I like that they layer together because it kind of looks like honeycomb, And each of the necklaces were a gift from one of my girlfriends. And so
that's cool.
I get to wear them together and have them both like. We got a question in the chat.
Oh.
It says Jess. Did you come out at? And you don't have to answer any of these questions.
That's okay. We're open to the question. We can see what the other.
Yeah. Yeah. So the question is, did you come out at Pfizer, and if so, how did they handle that?
Right. I'm not broadly out yet. So that still has to come. But that being said, I'm out to a lot of people.
Right.
Like lately, I've been. I started with my boss 2 years ago, and I thought it was something like it was good for him to know that he can be prepared. And this is an old boss; he's not with the company anymore. But also, I figured I could tell him, and then simultaneously ask for Pride Week off. So I was like, I could like he's not going to say no if I come out and then ask for a Pride Week off. So and he did not. But yeah, that was I wanted him to know because I came into work, and that was long before anyone knew. But I came into work one day in 2019 because Laverne Cox was speaking at work as our Pride speaker. So I wanted to meet her. Yeah, and I did. I got to. They had like 50 of us who got to do a meet and greet. So I got to get my selfie with Laverne and say hi. She's super sweet. It was very cool.
Oh, so that's so cool.
That was my first appearance at work. And back then, only like 3 people knew. Like a few people in our LGBTQ group knew, but only a few others that weren't like otherwise friends outside of work knew. And they, I actually met the person who's now my boss's boss. He was also at that meet and greet. I didn't realize he was going to be there. So like he came up and introduced himself and talked to me for a while before I'm like, you know me, and here's how. And I got this whole like, great surprise.
Oh, wow.
Validating that he was completely shocked that he had no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, and so since then I've come out to probably 60 or 70 people, but all on a one-on-one basis.
Oh, wow.
And
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's actually like if I'm having a tough day, sometimes it's like, well, who can I come out to? Because I found that not only is it like generally joyful for me, I found it to be very joyful for them. Like it's been a very happy occasion when it happens so far, thankfully.
Oh, yay.
Knock on wood. So yeah, it's been lovely. My boss's boss's boss has been with her wife for 20 some years. Was one of the first people on the corporate C-suite at like a Fortune back when she was at Estee Lauder to be out and a woman on the C-suite. So I always knew my department was going to be a safe place.
Oh, that's so great.
Like not to presume upon her, but I'm like that atmosphere definitely was evident. So that was always kind of cool. And she actually guessed.
Sweet.
She guessed. Yeah, she guessed it in like March. We were doing a video call. We're redesigning. Oh, sorry. We're doing a project, and I was in charge of it, and so I had to interview all these different executives. And I was the intro. I'm like, here's this project, here's the deal. Now you're getting interviewed by this agency person, and she stopped and she's like, wait, Jay, oh my, because I'm going by Jay at work lately. And she's like, she zooms in. She's like, I just need to take this in. I'm like, yeah, I used to have a beard, and now it's moved around on my head a little bit. Because like, I thought I was doing boy mode really well. Like I shadow all this stuff, but like my hair is, And an hour later, I get a call from that boss's boss that he's like, so Sally just called me and wants to know. She's very supportive, but she doesn't want to presume. And so she thought she'd ask me because Ed's gay. Like it was like she kind of like reached out to like the queer hierarchy of our department. So like, it's cool. I'll reach out to her. And so she and I did an iPad call where I was presenting, and she got to meet this version of me.
Oh, great.
And so all this is to sum up back to the original question. Coming out, normally when coming out at work, you do it to, you can tell HR, they do a meeting with your immediate department. And you don't even have to be there if you don't want to. It's kind of up to you, but they'll kind of say, here's the deal.
Right.
I'm already well past, like I've already told all of my immediate department. And so the proposal I have now from this EVP who reports to the CEO that she'll do a town hall with me. And like, that will be my coming out. So that's intimidating as hell, but also super cool. I would love to do it, to do a big global coming out. So that's, now the thing is when. She said September 12th. I'm like, oh God, that's way too.
That's so close.
I
love that idea of like coming out to people slowly. I remember when I was doing my coming out, I like started with a couple people and wrote really long emails. And then just at some point, like I think the last group I came out to was my D&D group. And it was kind of like an open secret for like a while, but I was just like, I just sent a message that was like, hey y'all, by the way, I'm trans. See you on Friday. Like,
wow, that's
yeah. And it was just like, hey,
yeah.
like after a certain point when I like came up to my friends and I was like, hey, I want to tell you something. Yeah, blah blah blah. Like you do the whole rigmarole. After a certain point, I was like, I'm sick of the song and dance. I'm just gonna like drop this bomb, and walk away. And luckily, I had a pretty good support from everybody. We got a couple more questions. I see.
Cool. Also, hi Mish. I saw you join.
Hi Mish. Yeah. What is each of you's favorite dessert? Ooh, favorite dessert. Oh, I love a creme brulee, and I love a strawberry ice cream. Not together.
I was 100% going to say creme brulee, so now it's got stolen from me.
Yeah, as you know, if you go to a restaurant and somebody else orders the same thing as you, you can't have it.
You absolutely cannot have it. You have to change them. All right, I don't know if this really qualifies as a dessert, but I'd say I get it as dessert. An espresso martini at my favorite restaurant. I always end the meal with an espresso martini, and it's basically a dessert. I drink probably an unhealthy amount of my desserts.
All right, I need to cool this pan. Oh, this pan is too hot. No jokes.
Dang, everyone at once? Wow.
Everybody
That's
a
way to come out. I've been prepping.
Lots of cool stories like that where people have just been like, yep, hello everyone, this is what's happening. I mean, there's no wrong way to come out. Let's just be clear right now.
Very true.
However you come out, if you come out, that's your sorry. Continue your dessert. Your espresso martini.
Oh, actually, that generally often is the dessert, but there are some desserts that pair well with it that I'll also get occasionally. But usually I'm like so full from whatever extravagant meal we had that like a drink is about the level of dessert I can handle. So the espresso martini is truly delicious. I think it counts as dessert.
Nice.
Cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get the final results so I can eat it while we're talking.
Oh, yes, please do. Please do. We got another question. Oh, my God. Alyssa, you got so many questions. Thanks so much. What is each of your favorite holiday movies to watch alone or together? Easy answer, Elf. That's my favorite holiday movie, my favorite Christmas movie, and probably in my top 10 of movies, period.
I think for mine... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, up there. Okay, go. Let's say Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh, that's also a really good one. That's like always on my list for Christmas movies. It's like Muppets Christmas Carol. Yeah. Yep.
Side note.
It was the best.
I don't know if that's in the question, but...
Oh, that's
this
good.
Is
yeah.
How the end result. All right.
Muppet Christmas Carol. I did for like a couple of years, or at least 1 year. I know I got all of the days where I watched a Christmas movie every day in December up until Christmas. And so I got to watch a fair few. I don't know if this gravy is going to turn out because I heated the pan too hot, and now the second pan I'm using is not hot enough.
No.
We may not have gravy.
See, that's what you get for trying to be impressive and do all these things. I did one crazy simple thing. Took like no time.
Right? Yeah. It's on me. I bit off more than I could chew. Pun definitely intended.
That's a proper meal. Like if I can, I'm proud of myself if I can get like just an entree. Doing sides also like boggles my mind organizationally. I don't know if I could pull that off.
It's definitely not for the faint of heart. I think the corn is done. I need some tongs here.
It is slightly faster than reading a Christmas Carol.
Something amazing.
Sorry, I'm reacting to
Christmas Carol. It's great. Whoever keeps requesting to be in the video, that's not what this is. So stop doing that. Thanks so much.
Soundtrack is amazing.
Just one guess. Look at that.
Sorry. You can ask for another time. Ooh, corn. That's nice.
Yeah, if you want to be a guest on Queerantine Kitchen, you don't have to be queer to be on, but you do have to email Queerantine Kitchen on Instagram. You got to let them know.
Science.
So we can book them in. Let them know. Okay, my tongs are too hot because apparently heat conducts well in metal. Who knew?
What? I don't believe it.
Shit.
This is fake news.
It's fake news. We got another couple questions. It's a Wonderful Life. Thanks so much. What was one challenge where each of you had to overcome? Alyssa, I'm loving these questions because I'm always at a loss for what to say. What was one challenge when each of you had to overcome when starting to transition? For me, honestly, it was just like admitting to myself was the biggest one. And I was like, okay, well, now that I know, I'll tell other people, and either they will accept me, or I don't need to have them in my life. And that's kind of how I've taken it. Like, you know, it took me the longest to accept it, and so then by the time I was ready to admit it, I was just like, well, everyone else can get on board or get out of the way because this is what's happening.
No, so I do have a thought, but first of all, that is so true. I sat down with a therapist in December of 2019. I talked like for 15 minutes straight, and at the end, like I finally like ran down a little bit, and she's like, "Yeah, okay, it's fair to say you're transgender," and she did just like that. And hearing that, I was like, "Oh, okay." Like I could stop doubting and guessing.
Yeah.
But my early challenge is actually my doorman. So my
Really?
building is pre-war, and it's like built in 35, and the elevators are now being changed to automatic, but they used to be all manual.
Really?
So there's no like sneaking in or out of the building. They come up to your floor, you get in, they take you down to the bottom. Like there's no, like when you're hitting the button, you're not calling the elevator, you're ringing a bell so they know to come in and get in the elevator and then take it up there. So they were all super sweet, but like I was so terrified of them knowing. And there was actually a club downtown that I would go to. I could keep a suitcase there as for people, like they do Wednesday night dinners for people who want to just change and eat dinner there and then go home or whatever.
Yeah.
I would go there. I got a key there. I would go there, change, go out, come back, change, go home. And that was like for 2 years how I was going out and about, was going through them. So finally coming out to them was actually one of the first non-queer people I came out to.
Oh, wow.
That was my hurdle.
And were they good? Were they good to Nice.
Super awesome. Like obviously it's one of the things where you never have to worry as much as you do, but.
What inspires each of you to start off your day on a high note? I'm going to answer that question in a second, but it's time for our surprise cameo, which is always what we have. We always have to have the cat make an appearance.
Cat Jon Snow.
Here's Cat Jon Snow, the goodest boy. Hi, buddy. If you joined in on the pre-stream chat when we were setting up, you got to watch me make his dinner. Now he doesn't want to be held, and so what I like to do sometimes is hold him until he wiggles out on his own. And there. He knows nothing. Ellie, he knows nothing at all. So what inspires me to start my day off on a high note? I don't know. I kind of have this thing where even if I don't have the answers for stuff in my mind, I'm just like, I mean, things are going to be okay. Like, things will be all right. And so I just sort of have that feeling in my mind every day where it's like, if I don't know the answer now, I'll figure it out. Something is going to work. Nothing so bad is going to happen. And I just go with that vibe. And it seems to make the days go by pretty well. They're not all great days. I won't make that claim, but it's a lot of fun. I just realized I forgot to turn off the oven and my chicken is done. So now it's extra done. But that's okay. Well, what about you? What inspires you to get out?
Those are such deep answers. Like I was saying, my brain was like coffee. Like that's the extent that I went to.
Sorry. We got real. We got real here on TV.
We did. That's good. That's good. It's forcing me to kick it up a notch. I'm trying to think now. Also, side note, I brought in an Elgato key light air to like balance things out here in the kitchen, and it is getting increasingly hot. This is me not thinking fully ahead here. I should have.
It is
rather
so
things
hot.
Differently.
It's very hot here. I'm very sweaty.
That's why you can see touch my face. That's why I'm adjusting the AC vents here to go around. But yeah, no. Speaking more seriously, what do? That did nothing. I changed the vents. That did nothing. Actually, for me, it's sometimes preparation and planning. Like I always say I'm an organizing person, but I'm not organized. I feel like things are kind of a mess. So like every time I moved, I've been increasingly, I guess anal retentive about where I store and put everything away, because I'm trying to like set myself up for as much order as possible, knowing that I can naturally easily get into a very messy, crazy place. And that's equally true, I think, for work. So having lots of to-do lists, lots of plans, lots of things, not just in my head, but booked on my calendar of what I want to check that day. So if I can feel like there's a plan to get me through the day, that's probably what helps me approach the day more positively versus feeling like I'm besieged and underwater.
Yeah.
Which just happens every time I look at my inbox, because I have like 35,000 unread emails, literally. I have no idea what's in there. I'm terrified.
35,000?
Right, like so many are like automated or formed, but like at this point, I just can't. That's a good thing about the quarantine and about the craziness and how busy it's been at work, aside from, producing the vaccine, is that I've been realized finally how to delegate. Like I'm not even going to pay attention to these things. I need you to look at them. I'm not going to do it.
That's smart.
Oh, sorry, I just saw someone notice my counter lights, and that's awesome. I assume that's what you're referring to. I set them to gay. As you can see, there's a rainbow here.
Some wonderful LGBT.
Yes, I just installed these over the weekend. They can be lots of different colors, but I set them to gay. So it's a rainbow.
Set them to gay mode.
Yeah.
Yes. You gotta love a good gay light setting. Okay, I'm gonna let the chicken rest. It is, oh my gosh, it's 8:52. It is almost time to wrap it up here. But we only see the bi-flag colors is what we can see.
That's fair. The green is a little off camera. It's here though, I swear. And like there's a yellow and an orange. So
does the QK Kitchen need fancy? Is QK Kitchen kind of like ATM machine, where the AM already stands for machine? The Queerantine Kitchen.
Sorry, that was awesome.
But yes, I think we do need gay lighting.
What doesn't need gay lighting? I think that's a more important question.
I think gay lighting. Yeah. I think you've inspired me. But we're gonna wrap it up really quickly here. We got a few minutes left, so I'd like you, please, Jess, to plug your show, plug your stuff, plug your socials. I mean, you have like 10 times the followers as me, so I'm sure if you're following me already, you're probably already following Jess. But give it your shot. This is your time.
I appreciate that. I also kind of like the Hot Ones connection. That felt very, very professional. I was like, right. So in addition to the awesomeness that we already talked about on the Transverse Network, and if you're watching us on Instagram, that's awesome, but you should also be checking it out on Twitch at the Transverse. It's a great place, and that's where you can catch me occasionally appearing on Builder's Block, as well as so much other awesome programming that network does, including this very show. Mm-hmm. Beyond that, personally, you can find a lot of things at JustJess42.com. So not only does that link here to Instagram, to my account there, you can also get my Flickr account, which has all of my custom Lego creations, or at least a lot of them on there. You can see all pictures, super detailed, way too many pictures of all the different Lego creations I've made. And it's where I've been gradually preparing. It's still not done. The trans section is done, but that's where I'm preparing my story to them, where I do come out broadly to everyone. That will be on there. So you can get updates on when I'm on Twitch, see my socials, get to the Lego, and see my story.
Awesome.
That's good stuff.
That's great. So JustJess42.
.com.
Great. .com. For Queerantine Kitchen, yes, you can watch it every week. We're back now. We've got episodes in the can, not in the can. It's always live. Why did I say that? We've got episodes. We've got guests lined up for the rest of September and part of October already. And going forward, remember that Queerantine Kitchen is going to be broadcast from the Queerantine Kitchen account, which is just Queerantine Kitchen. If you want to be a guest, you can DM the QK account. You can DM at Queerantine Kitchen. If you would like, we are making a cookbook. That is something that we have been planning. It's been on hold since we moved, but we're firing that back up again. If you want to submit a recipe for that cookbook, just go to queerantinekitchen@gmail.com and you can send in your recipe, send in a little blurb about why it's important to you, and we may choose it for the book. We're gonna step up production on that again. Now that I'm settled in Quebec and we're ready to go, and Kelly's here and we can work together on that. So that's very exciting. If you want to see me do my regular posts, Billy by Design is my account. I have not been as active on there now that the world is opening back up, and I'm not spending so much time on my Instagram. I don't post like every day, but Billy by Design, I before E when spelling Billy, and there's underscores between the words. And also, I do a weekly podcast all about horror movies. It's called Nothing to Fear. I would love it if you would give it a listen and give it a follow and a review and a rating. Even if you you don't like horror movies, but you just download it and play it with the volume on 0, it counts. It counts as plays, and we want to get those plays. So, I mean, listen to it because it's a fun show, and we have a lot of discussions. And you don't have to like horror movies to like it, but I would love it if you could give it a listen. So yeah, can you send a request by post? Thank you, Sophie. Thank you, Sophie. Can I put a pre-cooked pizza in the oven if that makes? I can put a pre-cooked pizza in the oven if that makes for a good show. Ellie, I've seen your Instagram. You've got amazing farm garden stuff, so I feel like there's something there. We'll
challenge issued.
Challenge issued. Okay, I'm sorry I don't have a plate. I didn't finish in time.
Okay.
We'll get pictures. Again. It's going to be up. But we'll show these. I'll show what's ready, which is the corn. Corn. Hold your brownies up so that we can maybe get a still for the cover. Ooh. Oh. And stay tuned for a post in a minute. We're getting laughter. It's great. I got a live audience here. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Jess, for coming on and cooking. Thank you, Alyssa, for all the questions. I didn't get to all of them. Sorry. You're amazing. Thank you for doing that. And we'll see you next week over on Queerantine Kitchen on Instagram. So give that account a follow. All right. Awesome. Have a good week, everybody, and bon appetit.
Such a blast. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.